We're at Gen Con in the year 2019, and we're Roll for Crit, and you, my friend, went to the IDW booth today to play an interesting licensed title based on a franchise we're fans of. That's Metal Gear Solid, and I'm such a fan of it that I've been trying to ruin my voice so that I sound like Solid Snake all week. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. So I am curious to find out, how does this game work? And, Metal Gear Solid is well known for its stealth gameplay. How does that translate to a board game? Tell me about it.
So, it is the year 2005, I believe, in the original Metal Gear, and you are sneaking in. Now, in this game, it's actually cooperative, and you actually play as one of 4 characters. They're all the main, I guess, heroes, you'd say, for most of them, of Metal Gear Solid. You got, Solid Snake, Gray Fox, Meryl, and Otacon. Now, in the game we played was actually, they called it a VR scenario. So it's just a training thing, but he explained about how some of the bosses might work and stuff, which I'll get to a little bit later. I actually played as Otacon, and it was actually really cool because each of the characters are designed to be a bit unique. The main things that we saw got used was Meryl actually can put on disguise, and so she doesn't cause a triggering of the enemies from seeing her until they get too close to her and realize. Otacon cannot use a weapon. He doesn't know how to fight. But there are terminals and he can hack them. And by doing so, then he has his own little deck of cards, and he can do make a false alarm in a different board, make a 180-degree turn, which we use that a lot because that way you could do that. Then Snake just runs around the corner and just snaps their neck. Well, actually, no. He knocks them out. There actually is, when you take someone out, you take their mini off the board. You have, when they get confused, they have the stars around their head. You put that on the board, and on the enemy's turn, you may flip a card that causes them to slowly unstun. So there's a bit of a mechanic there as well. Now, in our scenario, we had to hit 3 points, and then someone had to exit. Pretty simple. But the enemies will move around, actually used through cards. You flip a card over, and depending if someone's been spotted, they will move faster and go straight to that. Otherwise, they have move 3, and if they end up these things, turn left or right. So actually, if you played Metal Gear, it's they have their patrol routes. You can you're not perfect though. In fact, our first round, we go here, it's great. They'll never move 10 across the board. They got their heist movement thing and ran across and happened to spot us.
Is it will they move regardless of where you are and how does the upkeep of them work? Is there a card that tells you how they move?
Yeah, they have there's a deck of cards, the enemy movement cards. In fact, the first half of it is easier ones, second half is more deadly, and somewhere in that is actually a game over card. So pretty much you can't take your time. You gotta move a little bit.
Do you know about any of the other scenarios? Do you fight Psycho Mantis or different bosses?
We'll put up a picture now or sometime earlier. There's minis of Metal Gear, all of Liquid Snake's accomplices, except for, I guess, Octopus. I don't think there's many of him, but you don't really fight him. There's also, apparently, I think the pre-order already happened on Amazon, and there's another wave coming out soon. Those will come with minis of a tank, that's for a tank boss, I assume, and the helicopter. I asked if those are exclusive mechanically or those just replacing a token. He didn't know, but I'm hoping they're just a token for there. Metal Gear will come, sounds like, regardless, which is awesome because there's not many ways to actually get Metal Gear Rex in there. So there will be boss fights like that. And in fact, going back to Otacon, he doesn't take part in those boss fights. His mini's not on the board. But he still takes turn. He's at a computer somewhere else, and you have your own deck cards for each boss designed to help hack their stuff so you can actually deal and help out without having to do combat.
That's what you're telling me about the character sounds really thematic and really cool. I love that.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I learned more about Otacon, I played him, but I know Snake, I think he has it's usually some people have to take it 2 or more successful hits on a sneak kill. He can do it much easier.
Does he have a box?
Someone actually asked, is there a box mini? And their answer was, there's no box mini announced yet.
All right, so stay tuned to exclusive scoop, box mini.
But the game itself was actually, because they're really social program, so to speak, in their movement. And because of that, there's a bit more talking and analyzing how to work. Movement actually works with both enemies and you. That, let's say I want to move 2, and you're right next to me, I leapfrog over you, so you don't count as a space. So then there's also discussion, if I move here and stay behind this corner, you leapfrog and get around the wall in time. So the cooperative elements actually come through really well. And like I said, as Otacon, I was like, all right, I'm going to turn the enemy 180 so you don't get spotted and you can go and kill him so he doesn't do a reaction shot on you. Meryl, of course, so you can disguise herself, like I said, so she can get around certain things and maybe pull a trigger or something like that. It was really fun to talk about with everyone.
Does it have a solo mode or no? Do you know?
I asked that too, and he said, yes. And I asked, can I solo as Otacon? In which he said, I'd like to see that. So I'm calling it now. If I get this, I'm doing a solo version as Otacon. No guns, no killing, just hacking.
Well, we will stay tuned for that. That sounds exciting. But it sounds like overall this is a good fit for the Metal Gear Solid universe.
No, all the people there that I played with were Metal Gear Solid fans. And the entire time we're just laughing and making jokes. Like there's a puddle, and we joked that was Otacon peeing himself.
That's a thing that happens, guys.
In the game, yeah. When we first got alerted, someone was like, wait, the demo was like, hold on a second. Just goes on his phone, starts playing the alert music to go along with it. Like we were all into it. We all felt like we were actually playing the game and trying to talk about how to stealth these guys and trick them from making like knocking on a door or not a wall, sorry. So they walk towards there. It just had that kind of elements, except because it was cooperative. We were all talking about how to do it. So I think it came out very well.
Well, maybe they'll do 2 or 3 and other Metal Gear, maybe for expansions or maybe even different games.
I joked that the next expansion needs to come in a separate box, simply labeled Disc 2.
Let's see that happen.
So overall, I mean, I had a blast. We're playing all these people. I definitely think if you're a fan of Metal Gear, you're going to have fun. And especially if you play with other people fans of Metal Gear. The one thing that I'm really iffy on, one that, like I mentioned, Taken Helicopter, I hope they add a mini in there, that there's still a token or something so you mechanically can still fight them, relive those fights. 2, I know that if I recall correctly, the pre-order was $130, so this is not a cheap game. But at the very least, when I sat there, I had a blast, and I didn't even realize time was going on. So I think that's up to you. Is that worthwhile?
Hopefully that the campaign and scenarios are meaty enough that there's enough gameplay content to justify the price. Let us know what you think, and if you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid, if you're excited for this game, talk to us in the comments down below. For more Gen Con content, like this video, subscribe to Roll for Crit, and follow us on all our social media platforms.
But if you really need more, you can visit our Patreon. We'll be having a exclusive little Gen Con mini podcast to listen to.
And there's our contest running right now for the Keyforge Age of Ascension set. You can try to win. Find the link in the description down below.